Bamba yetu yulie mbinguni. Jina lako litukuzwe. Ufalme wako uje.
Hwange National Park is one of the biggest national park, and within this area, I think the concentration of game is more than that. Is more than any area in Zimbabwe. So a lot of tourists would love to come view our animals.
I think the tourists come to Hwange for the love of the animals that are so abundant at Hwange Park. But I also think that the tourists come to Hwange and probably down to the village because the people there are kind, they're welcoming.
In the other camps where we've stayed in other countries, the elephants have been 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 5. But here the herds are in like 40 or 50 in a herd, and it's very unusual to see that number.
Tourism is important to a national park because it provides the revenue that allows national parks to manage and look after these areas.
Our wild areas are there by the grace of tourism. And tourists don't come to see empty bush, they come to see animals.
We've seen 3 different prides of lions, saw lions mating on our way here. We've seen cheetahs, we've seen giraffes, elephants, all of the animals that one would expect to see on a safari. We've been very, very pleased.
Many of our local communities have progressed wonderfully through the benefits of tourism.
Tourists and the tourism has brought a lot of things for this school, where we have a pump that is pumping water. On the background there is a garden that you can see. We have the classroom that is behind me here. This was built by a tourist, and as a community, we now have a curio shop where people come and sell their wares. So if somebody comes in and buys something for $1, then the parent will be able to pay their fees.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. He was
Very pretty.
made of some stonework.
Okay.
Yeah,
Deal.
thank you so much. They come and help us at school. They develop our village, and they support us as well.
The market is closing down. The tourists have gone off now, and all these ladies that have come out here to sell their curio wares, probably about 30 of them, are packing up to go home. We're not seeing too many men here. Why are the men not here? The men are all working in the safari camps. The women are selling curios to the tourists, and all these tourists are coming out because they want to come and see Hwange's elephant.
I would say 80% of our young boys, they are employed. And I would say every homestead in this area, somebody is working for Imvelo safaris.
I've got so many friends that work in the tourism sector. Like one of my best friends whom we went together in college, and my brother has been in hospitality for about 12 years. My father was a guide.
The industry is really helping my people because they are reducing the poverty in our area. Most of my people, they would think the only thing they would do is poaching. With the introduction of the tourism industry in this area, it has actually changed the lives of these people, and they are now conserving their animals because definitely they know if they're looking at the entire schools and the community at large, they're seeing some change.
We have textbooks in the classrooms. Also have teachers' cottage at this school. We have the perimeter fence around the school. We have a library. We have children who are having uniforms. Before tourism came to Ngamu, I can remember what this place looked like. It was very, very different from how it looks like now. That hate relationship between the elephant and the people. They were viewed mainly as problem animals. You ask them to draw a grade 1 kid to draw an animal of their choice. A good number will draw an elephant. So I believe that it's one of the most popular animals in the park.
Before we had this support from the tourism and like Imvelo safaris, it was a bit difficult because you'd find that when we're talking about the relationship between us and the animals, it was so bad.
We have an obligation, a role to play, to actually teach the little ones that wildlife is a resource.
Due to classroom shortage, we have our classroom here having their lessons outside. The hardest thing about conducting lessons outside is that there is too much distraction. There are a lot of people passing by, animals, children's attention is distracted. And when it's bad weather, we even have worse problems. The biggest challenges in this school is lack of resources. Parents have difficulties in paying levies, which makes it very difficult for us to run the school. We have shortages in furniture, shortages in textbooks. Good morning, class. Good morning, This is our grade 4 class. It is composed of 53 pupils. For the 53 children, there is one teacher. 50% teachers leaving the school almost every year. We have 2 cottages of 3 bedrooms each. These cottages are being shared by 9 teachers. As a result, 2 teachers have to sleep in kitchens. I think having tourism here will boost the school image, and a lot of people will come to know about this place and the school. And then parents will be interested in maybe conserving some of our wildlife.
When I grew up, I was told that the wildlife should be firstly protected and respected also, because these animals are actually bringing revenue into our country.
It's about the local communities and their jobs and their livelihoods as well. Their jobs, their livelihoods and their futures as well. It's about VUSA, it's about the young guys, it's about the high school kids that are going to be looking for jobs 10 years from now.
You kill that elephant just because you want a task, and the price of a task would not serve you for the entire year. But if you're employed, every month you're getting something. Your children are well looked after, your community is well looked after. I think my people for now, I think when we talk about conservation, they are #1 conservers of animals.
If we don't have tourists, it will be hard for us to survive, because tourists, they are helping us a lot.
What would happen to the park if there were no tourists? I think it would be difficult for the government to justify maintaining the park.
And the lower the tourist throughput through an area like Wankie, the less easy it is to justify having that land set aside for wildlife.
And in many ways, there's no reason why a park like that, run properly and managed well with good inflow of tourists, should be able to pay its way.
If the tourists were to leave Wankie, I see a very bleak future. First, for the country, for the region, which is Matepeleland, and for the communities.
If one day the tourism say we're leaving this area, a big cry from my people, losing jobs, and they will see a lot of animals dying.
If tourism was to disappear from this place, then we'll be taking a lot of many steps going backwards where we came from.
I came to Wankie as a game ranger and tried to make a difference, and today I can make a difference by being a tourism operator.
Most people believe that this place is now looking the way it is looking because of an elephant. So now they love the elephant. I love the elephant too.
Bamba yetu yulie